Hello buddy, Crow back again with another pickups video. Now it has been a bit over a month since my last pickup video, but I've only picked up really 3 games since then. I have a lot of other random crap to kind of show you all in this video, but let's start with the games. Just jump right into it. My wife actually found this at Toys R Us for $10. It's The Bureau, XCOM Declassified. Now I've seen this and I always thought it was an interesting cover because it's like all blacked out and whatnot. But then when you open up the case, it's like removing the blacked out parts. And I thought that was a really clever thing for a packaging for this game. Now it does say XCOM, so I guess it's part of the XCOM series, but I think it's more of a offshoot rather than a direct sequel or anything. Simply because, I don't know that much about XCOM, but this is more of a like run and gun shooter where you get to control, like, at least when I was playing, I played for about maybe 30 minutes. It's really, almost not really my type of game. I mean, it was pretty cool to play it, I admit that. But first-person shooters on a console really don't work that well for me. I mean, it takes me so long to aim with the dual analog, get in position and using the analog stick to aim. I just can't, I'm just no good at it. I need the mouse to be even remotely good at it. I don't know how people could prefer to play that way. But I did. It was okay. I like how it takes place in the 1960s. Again, I don't know much about the other XCOM games, when they take place or anything, but this one takes place in like 1960s. I like, I just like the whole atmosphere of the game. Really, my wife bought this for herself because she was interested in it. It'd probably be a game I'd never buy, but you do have to. I mean, it'd be okay if I didn't have to worry about, telling somebody else in the game what to do too. That's kind of something I don't like. But anyway, it's an okay game, I suppose. And for $10, I think the price is right. So that's The Bureau, XCOM Declassified. Yeah, it's kind of an interesting game. So, moving on, we got this game here. Adventure Time, Explore the Dungeon Because I Don't Know. Now, I don't know if it's been since my last pickups video or not. I don't know if I mentioned this. But I started watching Adventure Time, and I really like it. So I watched like almost all the episodes that have been out, except for like the most recent season. And I happened to be at GameStop, and I noticed there was an Adventure Time game on the PS3. Now, what they were asking for the game, I was like, I bet I could get that cheaper online. And I looked online, and I noticed there was the 3DS version. This was marked, the collector's edition was marked all the way down to like $8 on Amazon. The standard 3DS edition was like $10. So the collector's edition was $2 less than the standard edition. Originally, I was going to get the game on the PS3, but that was even more. And I just figured, I'm just going to buy this on the 3DS because the packaging, it comes in a steelbook packaging.
Time machine is waiting.
Okay. Steelbook packaging of my favorite character in Adventure Time, and that's BMO. So I could not pass this up. The game itself, not very good. It's like a dungeon crawl, kind of almost like Gauntlet, but you get lost very easily. And you can only save like once every 5 levels. It seems kind of odd, but this case included, you got the game in there, and you've got a DVD in there of bonus features, which I haven't looked at yet. But I did play this a little bit. It's not the greatest game in the world, but to me, for $8, it was worth it just to have the Steelbook edition with the BMO case. I also like the 3DS version has got the face of BMO in the lower screen. That I guess wasn't there in the other versions, and I like how he just occasionally says stuff during the game. That is probably the best part of the game. Just him randomly saying stuff. It's not the greatest game, but for $8 to get this, it's not that bad. I mean, yeah, and I think out of all the versions, the 3DS version was rated the lowest for whatever reason. Don't really know, but if I take into account the BMO case, holy shit. Well, luckily that just landed in a way that just made a loud noise and nothing actually broke in there. Kind of don't like, I'm holding it like in the sleeve here and it just slipped right out. Anyway. Anyway, last game here was at Fry's Electronics, and they had the Skylanders. They have the Skylanders Swap Force starter sets, you know, PS3, Xbox 360, all $60. But for whatever reason, the PS4 version was marked down to $30, $29.99. But the sticker on here says $79.99. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Is that right? And I asked somebody to scan it, and they scanned it, and sure enough, it was scanning at $29.99. I was like, well, I got to get it then, because we had, I don't know if you've seen my last pickup video, but I did get the Giants and Spyro's Adventure for the 3DS, and I'd be able to use those figures too. But since I bought this, things have kind of spiraled out of control. Turns out this is the only game I've been playing on the PS4 since I got it. And I kind of been addicted to it. My wife really likes the game too. Henceforth, we wound up getting a lot of extra figures because the new Skylanders game is coming out, and a lot of places are putting them, like Toys R Us specifically, is having these deals on Skylanders like every week. Skylanders are showing up at five or below for $5 each, which is half price. My wife likes going out and collecting them all. And I'm going to insert in a quick shot here of all the Skylanders we have to date. I have another one coming in the mail. It's like a special edition one that she really wanted. It's like the giant eyeball one, but instead of an eyeball, he's got a pumpkin head. And my wife really liked that one because she's really into Halloween. So I ordered that one for her. But yeah, to have the items in the game, it's really cool because, I mean, it's kind of a kid's game. It's kind of a kid's thing. You do need to be prepared to pay some money for these figures. And you could argue and say, well, why didn't they just all include that on the game? Or why isn't there just DLC at a cheaper price? And I just don't think the game would work the same that way. I mean, this game doesn't really require the internet at all. I think the only thing it required the internet for was leaderboards, if you're into that. But otherwise, it's kind of a different experience when you want to change characters, to physically change those characters with what you have. And it's just something, you know, it's just something that ties the physical to the digital. And the fact that everything that you do with that character stays in that character. If you were to take that character, give them to somebody else, all those stats and everything are still in that character. It's not saved in the game. I think that's a pretty cool concept. Again, kind of pricey if you're buying the stuff when it's not on sale. Now, my wife has been finding like the more expensive ones, like, you know, was there like $15, $16 each? You know, Toys R Us, sometimes they had 2 for $25, or Five Below, of course, had them for $5. Yesterday, I got a story about this. I'm going to bring this up. Yesterday, my wife, well, here, some time ago, like earlier last week, my wife went to Toys R Us, and they had these metallic Shroom Boom characters, I guess. So it's a metallic Shroom Boom, and my wife wanted to buy it, so she took it to the register, and the lady at the register went to scan it and said, oh wait, we can't sell these. They don't have a release date until Saturday, which was yesterday, September 13th. My wife is like, what? Well, you got a whole bunch on the shelf. You better, you can't, if you can't sell them, you better take them off the shelf. So, you know, she told that story, and I thought, okay, that's interesting. And then I forgot all about the story. Now, yesterday my wife was at work, and she texted me, hey, do you want to go get that metallic green Shroom Boom at Toys R Us? Or she goes, are you going to go to Toys R Us to get that metallic green Shroom Boom? Shroom Broom. Man, don't say that too much. So I was like, well, I guess I'll go if you want it. And she just responded with a smiley face. I guess she wants it. So I went to Toys R Us, and I'm looking on the shelves, and I don't see it anywhere. And one of the employees asked if I need help, and I'm like, well, I'm looking for Shroom. They had the normal one, and I'm like, well, I'm looking for this character, but he's like a metallic green. And that's all I know about it. And I kind of pulled up a picture and I showed him. And he's like, well, it doesn't look like we have it, but if you want to order it from another Toys R Us, you know, we could have it shipped to this store. And I'm like, well, I'll look, and if you don't have it, then I won't have anything, I guess I won't buy it. And Another employee came up and was like, "Oh, you're looking for metallic shroom boom, shroom boom, shroom boom." Why can't I say that? And I said, "Yeah." And I kind of showed her a picture off a website, and then she goes, "Do you have Instagram?" And I was like, "Instagram?" And I kind of played stupid, like I didn't know what Instagram was. And she goes, "Come by the register, I'll show you." So I went by the register in the back, and she pulls out this, the metallic green shroom boom. They were all behind the counter. She goes, "Well, the only way I can give them to you is if you show me a picture of them on Instagram." So I actually re-downloaded Instagram. I used to have Instagram, and I like kind of deleted my account a long time ago. Well, I reactivated my account, looked up Toys R Us, and she was going to give them to me anyway, without showing the Instagram because I knew about it. But I found the Instagram anyway, and I showed it. And I'm like, "Oh, yeah, here it is." And she started putting it in a bag. And I go, "Well, at the same time, for Saturday only, the Skylanders were buy one, get one 70% off." So I was like, "There's a couple I want. Let me go get those." And and I said, "Well, does that count towards the buy one, get one 70% off?" And she goes, "Well, I could do that, but then it wouldn't be free." I was like, "What?" And she's like, "The promo is you show the picture on Instagram, and this is free for the first 10 people. I was like, "Really? I did not know that. Well, I'm going to go get a couple other ones, and I'll still want that for free." So I went and picked out a couple, and then she gave this for free. And I went and I told my wife that it was free, and she went to another Toys R Us and did the same thing. But it turned out, I don't think a lot of people knew about this, because even though I didn't know it was free, I asked how many people have come here and collected this. And she said, "You're the second person." And it was already afternoon. And I told my friend about it too. My friend was picking up, oh, by the way, also, these starter kits at Toys R Us yesterday were $40 off, so they were all like $20, and we told my friend about it, and because he wanted to get the Skylander stuff, and we also told him about the free shroom boom, and he got that as well. So I kind of felt backwards into a free promotion at Toys R Us without even knowing about it. Anyway, I think that's enough about Skylanders. The Swap Force, more about the game. It is kind of cool that you can swap the characters together. There's certain areas of the game you can't get into unless you use two different elements combined. From what I found, you really don't even need. You could actually play the game all throughout with just one character. These bonus areas are for collecting things, maybe perhaps more money to buy more moves and whatnot. So, yeah, it's a nice little game. It's relaxing. It's not too difficult. I like leveling up the characters. Obviously, kind of geared towards kids, but hey, I'm kind of a big kid here myself. Anyway, my wife likes the game too. That's why we wound up with so many Skylanders. Again, it's a game you need to have money to play. A lot more money than if you were just buying DLC. But the advantage of that is, if you get tired of it, at least you could sell this stuff. And a lot of these Skylanders are well, not a lot of them. Some of them are rare. You could actually sell them on eBay for more than what you actually paid for them in the store. So it's kind of a weird little subculture there that a lot of gamers wouldn't even know about. It's really, the kids and stuff who are really into this stuff, but I could get into it too. Anyway, moving on. Let's talk about some other stuff here. I did pick up a charging station for the PS4, kind of no big deal type of thing, but I had charging stations for the PS3 and the Xbox 360, as well as like the controllers for the PS Move, and I kind of wanted to get this too, because I got a shelf now for this kind of stuff right above the TV that you'll see in a room tour if I ever decide to do one. That won't be for quite some time, so don't even ask about that. But yeah, I like this. They kind of plug right in the bottom. You don't need to push it up in the front. So I like these. These are the official ones, so it was worth the money. I think they were $30, $20-$30. I can't remember exactly. It's been a while. What else? What else we got here? Let's do some toys here. We'll start with this one. My wife found this at Toys R Us, and she had to buy it. It is pretty cool. Link from The Legend of Zelda, and I just love the packaging on this. And the toy itself kind of reminds me of a toy from the 80s. It also has a mystery accessory included. I don't know what that is, and we will probably never know what that is because I'm not opening this. My wife isn't opening this. She likes the packaging too much. She's probably going to put this on the entertainment center somewhere. Talking about action figures, I found this. Now, Toys R Us has a bunch of different kinds of these. Escape from New York action figure. Kind of the last thing you'd expect to see at Toys R Us, right? This is Snake Plissken. Actually, they had two different ones from Escape from New York, and they're both Snake Plissken in different clothes. But I liked his this seemed more iconic to me than the other one. But oh, I thought this was like messed up on the artwork, but it's a zipper. But yeah, Escape from New York classic movie. This was about $10, but this is gonna stay in the packaging because, you know, this is all about the packaging as well as the figure. It's the complete deal right here. So I gotta keep that. They also had other ones, and I just didn't feel like buying them. I keep seeing them. There's like the Terminator, the exoskeleton Terminator. It's like pretty much the same thing, same layout, different picture, and then a different figure in there. Some character, some Firefly, but I've never watched Firefly, so I have no idea about that. Seeing Marty McFly from Back to the Future, but I didn't get that. But speaking about Back to the Future, I don't normally show off these Hot Wheels that I buy, but I have to show off this one. This is kind of oddity here. Back to the Future, and this is the not the DeLorean, but the 1987 Toyota pickup that Marty gets at the end of the movie. So I thought that was kind of funny that they would have this one and not the DeLorean. But they already have had the DeLorean. I have two different versions of it. I have the version specifically from Back to the Future and the original DMC-12, I think it is. That model of the car as well. So it's kind of interesting to see another vehicle from Back to the Future, because when you think of Back to the Future cars, this isn't really the one that you think of. Moving on, let's go with some other action figures. Now, if you've seen my last Loot Crate video, you know that they had a pop figure for Groot. So when I saw this, I can't even remember which store I've seen it in, but I've seen it in Toys R Us as well. Probably even picked this up from Toys R Us. I had to get Rocket Raccoon to go with the Groot on my shelf there. So yeah, there's the Rocket Raccoon, and I'm going to show some video here of what it looks like on my shelf with Groot as well. So yeah, it's a bobblehead figure. He goes really good with Groot. I'm not going to get the other ones. Apparently they have all the other ones. Star-Lord, Rocket Raccoon, Groot. I got the glowy arm Groot. Rex, Gamora, and Star-Lord. Do I really want them all? Probably not. Rocket Raccoon and Groot go well. Don't really need the whole set, I think. But we were me and my wife were looking at a disc replay as well. Saw something we had to buy. Didn't even know this existed. It's another pop figure, but this time it's Ash from Army of Darkness. Can you beat that? You can't really beat that. It's probably the best one. He's got the chainsaw hand and the boomstick. Cannot pass this up when you see it. Again, this was about $10. I have a shelf and a half, really, of Army of Darkness stuff. I'm going to show that over here too. Kind of go around my Army of Darkness stuff that the action figures that I've been getting, and without opening it up. The one is really yellowed, so I don't know how I did that, but that's the first one I got, actually. The other ones really haven't yellowed, so yeah, I remember buying that in like Suncoast Video when that was around. That's not around anymore. Yeah, I wonder how much those things go for now. Anyway, Army of Darkness, Evil Dead 2, yeah. And I got a whole bunch of figures, so whenever I see those, I cannot pass those up. I remember a long time ago, I was in a Suncoast Video, and they had a statue bust of Ash from Army of Darkness, and it was like $100. Back then, I could not have afforded it, but if I saw it now, I probably would have gone for it. Moving on, last game-related thing, expansion pack for Cards Against Humanity. This is expansion pack 5. Cannot pass up any expansion packs. Really haven't gone through the cards. I went through some of them, but I'm going to have to add them into the bigger, blacker box. This is probably the best card game there is. Really can't say much more about that. Couple movies. We're going to finish things up here really quick. One movie I bought Fry some time ago, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. Really saw the trailer, and I said, you know what, maybe this is the kind of movie I could watch. I knew about the movie for a long time, but I'd never seen it. Johnny Depp, Terry Gilliam directing, and I was like, well, maybe it's the kind of movie I'd enjoy. And I saw it for $5, so I bought it. I watched it, and you know, it really isn't my kind of movie. It's really hit and miss with Terry Gilliam, and this was kind of a miss for me. A lot of odd moments that I could appreciate, but the movie on a whole...
Play the time machine.
Yeah, I'd rather play the time machine. Actually, I saw this one yesterday. The Blues Brothers, and it's in a steelbook case, and this was about $15, but I could not pass it up when I was in there yesterday. I do have probably the same movie on, I wonder if this is, I think this has the Blu-ray and DVD. I think the other one I have is just a Blu-ray, but pretty much the same thing. I haven't even opened that yet, and I probably never will. Now I'm going to have to go sell it because I don't need 2 copies of the Blues Brothers. But it's such a classic that it really does deserve a steelbook case. Very nice. And I do like these editions of the steelbook case where they have the picture and stuff. I have one like that for the Hulk. I know there's one for Scott Pilgrim too, and I wonder if I should get that even though I already have the movie. Anyway, if it's cheap enough, maybe I will. That's all. Thanks everyone for watching. See y'all next time. Bye.